And a special treat this Friday on Washington Unplugged, rapper and actor Ludacris Bridges is in town this week to give an award to Congresswoman Maxine during a benefit for his foundation. Ludacris now joins us from the studio. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me, man.
Tell me about the foundation first.
The foundation, well, this is the 6th annual foundation dinner. We're having it in D.C. as for the first time this year in D.C. And of course, you know, we just recognize those who are doing great community service work. And Maxine Waters is one of those individuals that's been doing this for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're making sure we give her the Congressional Leadership Award. And I've worked, you know, personally with her over the past couple of years, and I just think she's a great woman and great individual, and I want to recognize her for what she has done and continues to do.
So tell me on the larger message of the foundation to kids, like, you know, if some kid's coming up and they're saying, like, I want to be just like Ludacris, do I do what he says in the foundation, or do I listen to his music?
If you want to be like me, I would honestly say that, of course, music is an art form. It depends on if you want to go into music or not. But as far as what I feel like I'm personally doing as a leader to step out and accept the responsibility of, you know, feeling like I need to do what I need as far as the community is concerned, about in my local community, about being abroad, about going back and reaching, you know, into and just giving a helping hand.
Right.
Because what I try to do is give hand ups and not handouts. So I like helping kids that want to help themselves. So to answer your question, you want to be like me, everyone has a certain amount of influence and power, and I feel like you can give back in your own way. It may not necessarily be money, it may be about the time that you put in. You can find out more if you go to the ludacrisfoundation.org, and you know, you can do something with my foundation if you like.
So you're in Washington for a few days. What does Washington look like from your perspective? You know, you're out in the rest of the world. You have incredible fans all over the place watching your movies, listening to your music.
Right.
You come to Washington. Does it seem like a totally different world? What's it seem like to you?
You know what? I've been coming here for years, and of course, it does look like a different world to me, and that's part of the reason that I'm here, because I feel like that we are facing a whole new set of issues and a whole new set of challenges. And I feel like bridging the generation gap and doing things like myself and Maxine Waters coming together, we can find a solution for all these new issues and new challenges. It's about a new way of thinking. And I think if we put together each and everyone's ideas, then we will be better on our way. You know, we'll be on our way to finding a better solution.
What do you think people need to hear here about, well, about whatever, about young people, about these issues? Like, what do they not hear, you know?
I think that, you know, they need more individuals stepping up to the plate and accepting responsibility, and a lot, like, I think throughout discussion we find solutions. So I think people need to come together and talk, and I feel like more individuals from the generations need to come together. And then that's why I say I think we'll find solutions that way.
And what do you think, how do you think President Obama's doing?
I think he's doing a great job.
If you could stop in and see him on this trip, maybe you're gonna, I don't know, what would you ask him?
I would ask him the same thing that, you know, basically what we're talking about today, about trying to get more individuals together. We can have an open forum. We can get, you know, celebrities together. We can get rappers together. And, like, it's just about bridging that generation gap.
And what if people want to get involved with the foundation?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. The ludacrisfoundation.org. You can click on that website. It'll give you all the specifics of whatever you need. And
now tell me what's happening with you outside of the foundation for people after they've clicked on ludacris.org.
Man, more movies, more music, but you know, I'm here to talk more about the philanthropy and just about work and everybody accepting responsibility and just coming forth and doing your part on whatever you can do in order to help out and give back.
All right, great. Ludacris, thanks a lot for being here.
Thanks
very much for being with us. And now, joining me from Capitol Hill is the woman receiving the award, Congresswoman Waters. Welcome.
Thank you. Delighted to be here with you.
So tell me, what does receiving this award mean to you?
Well, I'm delighted because I'm receiving an award from the Ludacris Foundation, a young, creative hip-hop artist and actor, and he does work, of course, with all of these young people around the country, and for a more mature woman like me to be recognized by young people is extremely important, and I'm honored.
When we talked to him, he talked about bridging the gap between those two generations. How does that help? What misunderstandings, what gaps need to be bridged by this kind of an award and this kind of foundation?
Well, the first thing that we all need to understand is that the hip-hop culture has a profound influence on our country, our young people, and for many, many years, it has been known only as violent or vulgar. All kinds of things have been assigned to it. But the fact of the matter is, we have all of these creative, talented young people who have brought us this new genre of music. And instead of running away from it and being afraid of it, we should embrace it and develop communications. And hopefully we can have some influence and we can talk with them. They can understand what we think about what they're doing and what impact we think it's having. And they can share with us who they are, what they care about, and what they think they're doing. That's extremely important.
In terms of conveying those messages, the foundation is clearly helpful, but presumably also conveying some of those messages through the music would also be helpful too.
Well, to tell you the truth, what they do with the foundation is simply give support to young people. First, needy young folks who really does need to know that somebody cares. He's shown his love by going to these hospitals, giving out food baskets, making sure that people have good Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas activities. So that's important. Young people and poor people need to know that somebody cares. Secondly, he does teach not only healthy living, bringing chefs into many of these community organizations, helping young people to learn how to prepare food and what is good food. And then he talks about exercise an awful lot. So all of those things are extremely positive. There's one part of what he does that helps to explain hip-hop culture and what it's all about. And I can assure you that when he's doing this, it's all very, very positive. What many people oftentimes focus on is the lyrics of some of the hip-hop music, some of the rap music, and of course, when he's working with the young people, it's about how the business works, how you get into the business, and how you rhyme and all of that. It's not about the lyrics. The lyrics come from individuals based on how they feel. I don't always understand it. I don't always like it, but that's what has to be resolved as we began to know each other better. That is older folks and young people. And we get a chance to tell them when we develop this communication with them and close the gap, what we think about it, and hopefully we can influence them.
All right, Congresswoman, I have just one other question for you before we let you go, which is that I wanted to ask you about your colleague, Charlie Rangel. Something you said earlier, you were quoted on MSNBC. You said, I want to tell you there are many members. You were talking about the strict ethics rules you all have to follow, and you said there are many members, if you go back over their records over all of the years, you're going to find there were disclosures that were not made. I think we should, and I wondered what you meant by that, whether that all members have this kind of problem.
Well, what I mean by that is this. We live in the real world, and whether you're an elected official or you are a news commentator or a teacher, no matter what, mistakes are going to be made in your life. I wish we could all be perfect. I wish that we could all get an A on everything that we do, but we don't. And so in line with that, we are under strict disclosure laws. We have a lot of reporting to do. Most of us have to have full-time lawyers, full-time accountants. Some things we have to disclose on a monthly basis. When we travel, we have to disclose every penny of the ground transportation costs. We cannot take first class, on and on and on. Yes, mistakes are going to be made. And so whether it is one of my colleagues in this profession or one of your colleagues in your profession, unfortunately, we're only human.
And it appears since you made those comments, Republican Congressman John Carter failed to disclose nearly $300,000 in profits from oil stock sales. So that seems to prove your point, at least in that one case. Congresswoman, thanks so much for being with us.
You're so welcome.